This is Kyle and
Daryl.
Here with
Patrick,
the director of
Avatar the game.
So our first question is,
what's the premise of the story for the game?
It's pretty simple. One of the first mandate James Cameron gave us, yes, it came directly from James. This is not the game of the movie, all right? We're doing the game of the world. Hence the fact that it's a different story, different characters. It still happens on the same beautiful, lush Pandora planet, but it's a completely different storyline. It happens 2 years prior to the movie, and you're gonna play this young soldier that comes to Pandora. He's part of the Avatar program, meaning that he has access to an avatar, a 10 feet tall Navi-like body. And during his adventure on Pandora, he'll actually encounter both sides. The sides of the RDA. The RDA that is on this planet to harvest the mineral. They need to bring back the unobtainium to Earth in order for Earth to survive. So they're fighting for mankind. On the other end, you've got the Na'vi. The Na'vi are the natives of this planet, and the Na'vi are all about symbiosis and all about being one with this planet that is being torn about, that is being destroyed by the RDA. So you have to side. Either you side with the Na'vi and help them defend their planet, or you're going to side with the RDA and destroy the whole planet.
So how much influence has James Cameron, the director of the movie, had on the game?
James was involved the whole way through. We first pitched him the concept, the idea we had, the fact that we wanted to show the other side of the story. In the movie, obviously, Jake follows the path of the Na'vi. We felt that the game could actually, that moral decision was really strong, and it's something that actually I think won us this the job of doing the game actually. So that was in November 06, and since then we actually bi-monthly meetings, but no, we've updated it on everything we've done. We have access to everything from the movie, every asset, so concept art to final scenes. We have access to everyone. So John, the producer, James, obviously the sound guys, the music guy, the animation, the art people. I mean, this is an amazing collaboration.
So you've already seen the movie then?
Yeah, and all throughout the process, from the very early concept arts to very final scenes, and yeah, I haven't seen the whole way through because it's not finished yet. But from what I've seen, I can promise you it's going to be big.
Now, a lot of movie games are kind of the stereotype that they're lower quality than the average game because they're selling on the back of the movie. Do you believe you won't get lumped in with that stereotype?
It's a different type of relationship. That's what I was saying today. And I think James Cameron actually said this is a game that will have minimum suckage, right? And it came from Jim. In the sense that we worked on this for 3 years. We're treating it differently, different story, different characters. It's a game of its own, on its own. We're using the same world, but it's a game on its own. There's a few things also that we added in that makes it a little bit more than your typical game. First of all, the two choices, the campaign that will change depending what side you're going with. The fact that we have multiplayer, it's a perfect setting for multiplayer. We have these two factions with these two sets of values that fighting for their own survival, so it's perfect for multiplayer. Each of these two factions have access to, let's call them vehicles. The RDA has Jeep, tanks, ATVs, choppers, and on the other end, you've got the Na'vi that have all the creatures to the advantage. All the creatures that are on Pandora can actually be your tools in battle. You can ride most of them, and they became very, very deadly foes. So this is not your typical game. Then you added in the fact that what we call the war zone. At a certain point in the game, you actually go to pods that have been throughout the maps, and you're playing this meta game, this game of risk, to take control of the planet. And this will actually give you bonus in game. So you get XP by playing the game. This XP you use within the meta game, within Warzone, to take over the planet. You're sending out troops and you're building armies, and the more you take over the planet, the more bonus you get in game, the more XP you get. All in all, it just reinforces the whole thing. And the last big thing that we did, and it's an idea we pitched early 2007, is a Pandorapedia. We said, James Cameron, this is such a strong world. We know there's gonna be fans out there. There's gonna be Avatarians. When the game comes out, same thing. We have Trekkies. We felt that it was needed to tell everything about this world. So we pitched him the idea, and he started working on it back then. So we actually have in the game, you can scan anything, creature, plants, and you'll have complete data on what it is, what it's all about. Gameplay-wise, what does it bring to you? How did you feel it, depending on what kind of thing? So there's a little bit more depth in that game than you have in your typical game.
Definitely sounds like it. Technical achievements?
Could you tell us a bit more about the 3D, the mode?
Yeah, that's a little detail I forgot, but yeah. During one of these first meetings, actually James asked us, all right, so are there any 3D games out there? He's a big fan of 3D. The movie has been thought about for being a 3D movie from the get-go. The whole world he built is mostly because it looks great in 3D, and we've experienced it. The fact that you're within jungles makes it that there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of layers everywhere in the world. And in 3D, it looks amazing, right? So we started investigating back then, and we looked at different technologies. It's obviously linked to TVs. You need to have a 3D ready TV. But if you do, you can play the game. The whole game is fully playable in 3D. And I can tell you that it adds so more to the immersion, the experience you're having within this world. You feel you within it. It's like playing a great game or watching a great movie with a surround system. You get that little notch more than the experience you would have. It's the same thing for 3D.
Like we're getting really close to release now. What are your expectations about how the game's going to do?
I'm actually very impressed with the reaction we have today. The game has been very little communicated in Japan, but still we had our booth full for the whole day. And it's, I hope it's something that is just starting. Obviously, communication on the movie started a few weeks ago, and more people are getting into it. They discover the game, discover the movie, they discover that it's a big old Avatar experience, and people are excited by it. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. Actually, we have 3 games in development in Montreal on Avatar. We have the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game that we're showing today, but we have a different game for Wii, different storyline, completely different way to approach the world, and a game for DS. All in all, we're 250 people in Ubisoft Montreal working on Avatar, finishing up our different games, and I just hope people will have a chance to try it within the next few weeks.
So does that mean if you want to get the complete Avatar experience, you have to try all of them?
Seriously, yes. I honestly, and it's not bullshit, but every experience you have on Avatar builds up the next. And it's the idea is that if you have a great experience playing the PlayStation 3 game and you play the Wii, well, they're gonna things that you got out of your PlayStation 3 experience will make the Wii more understandable, and you get it a little bit more. If you watch the movie, you're adding a lower layer. If you play the DS, and all of this builds up and creating a stronger experience. The reason why we were told to expand the whole Avatar universe, the whole Avatar experience, exactly it. If you have a great experience with the movie, great experience with the game, you're gonna buy the DVD, and you're gonna see the next one if there's a next one coming out. So it's all creating strong IPs. I don't want to go into details, but what we're doing currently at Ubisoft Montreal, we're all about convergence, and we've already announced a short series of film for Assassins. Well, all in all, it's to build stronger brands. It's to build stronger IPs, and James Cameron got that a long while ago.
And I think that's about time. Avatar, when can gamers expect it?
It'll be released a few weeks prior to the movie, so early December worldwide.
And we're Gaming Union. Any last words?
Well, enjoy TGS, but you started at the right place.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.